Oh, you have to miss camp. Crap, dude. Well, there's no homework until the 20. Can you bring this? Can I do this at like AO or something? Because I just need to check my planner and figure out what. I'll like make you a post-it or whatever to let you know what you're gonna miss and try to print everything for you. But yeah, let me do that later. That's why I'm not gonna sign it yet. I need to like hand you some stuff. All right, so here is the deal. Yeah, we're missing a couple people for map testing. We're gonna finish up stuff from yesterday, and then we're gonna do 1, 2, 8. Most of the problems are not on there. We will check 1, 2, 6. I'll be honest, I'm a little behind on grading. So if you don't turn in your 1, 2, 6 today, I'm probably not getting to grading it. But 1, 2, 5, that needs turned in. So if you have not turned in your 1, 2, 5 yet, please do that. It was due on Monday. It is Wednesday. You got a big extension on that. But for 1, 2, 6, oh, I closed my PDFs. Give me just a second. So here's the answers. You can turn in after you check it, right? And then if you have questions, if you have anything we need to go over.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's on this day, it's on a Wednesday. Yeah. It's like on camp. Yeah, my birthday's gonna be like during camp. My birthday's on a Friday on Discovery.
So it might be easier, just so people have space, if you sit up here with Lily and just ask Lily to scooch one direction, just because 2 people at a table is easier than 3. So yeah, Lily, if you want to scooch right a little bit, maybe. And because then we all have pairs. All right, 1, 2, 6. You have giant 1s around some of the work that you see here. So what your paper should look like is like your giant 1 filled in with a 3 over 3, right? Your giant 1 filled in with a 2 over 2. Your giant 1 filled in with an 8 over 8. And your giant 1 filled in with a 6 over 6. And then finishing any of the other numbers that we don't know either. All right, so any questions from the front? Are we good? 1.2.6, yeah, the top of it, it looks like this. Yeah, it's got these boxes on it. All right, so then flip into the back. Remember that we need common denominators, but we can shortcut here on 115. We can shortcut because the 4 can become an 8. Right? When the 4 can become an 8, that lets us kind of shortcut and only change one of them. So guys, I should see some kind of work where this went to common denominators and then did the addition. Any other questions? 117, we just had to put those numbers in order, like we were practicing for median. Guys, I want to remind you, if you don't check your homework with us, you still need to check it, right, before you turn it in to make sure if you have mistakes, you can talk with me about it. I'm sorry to hear that, but just, get it done when you can. It's all okay. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's not a big deal. I don't know if you were in here yet, but I'm behind on grading. I haven't graded 1, 2, 5. So if you can't turn that in until tomorrow, that's fine. That is fine. Guys, we can even check this again tomorrow, because I know some of us don't have it done. Addie, question?
So I did the order of numbers from least to greatest. I kind of changed all of them to like decimals.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, so like your 1/2 is actually 0.5, 5/8 is 0.625, 5/3 is like 1. Now this is where it gets a little weird. 5/3 would be 1.6 repeating forever. So the decimal version of that isn't very nice, but you still can. Yeah, changing to decimal's fine. And guys, your paper should have some sort of work. It doesn't have to have all of the work that mine does for looking for common denominators. Because if you need help, go on Schoology and look at this. I put a lot of effort into showing my process of how I found the common denominators. NCD is my coding for need common denominators, right? NCD, need common denominator. All right, if it's done, turn it in. If it's not, try to manage your time better. Like, not a big deal, but it is a deal. And then we are going to look at 123. So turn those in. If you need to turn those in, get 128. If you don't have, or 1.2.8, I guess I should say. If 126 isn't done, we're still going to put it away. Even if you have to finish it still.
Well, I had that one sentence I forgot to do it. So, like, I put because and then, like, that's it. Can you pull the answer?
It's all good. I'm just trying to start because I got a video that I would like us to be able to watch at the end of class. If I try to show it to you guys in the middle of class, it'll mess up my recording. Do you have any questions, or do you just need more time to check? Okay, we should probably chat at some point. I mean, if there are questions you might think the class benefits from, it's fine. I see the calculator out, so it looks like you're kind of still working. Do you want to ask it now, or do you want to wait till later? I mean, you can ask it now if you think other people would benefit. Like, I don't mind. I'm serious. Like, what question are you wondering about?
I was wondering about 116B and 118C.
Yeah, we might as well chat about those real quick. So 116B, guys, and you don't even have to pull your homework back out, but you do, like, you should be paying attention. So if 3/10, right, 3 over 10 of the visitors were adults, and we have 100 total, which would be total, the 3 or the 10? Well, the 10. So I set my work up like this, and I know when I show just the answer key, it makes you think a little bit more, but that's the point. Because then if you have questions, I will show my work. You're paying attention, even though we're not done yet. So then, same sort of thing, 5/8, 5 over 8. What are they talking about? Dolls compared to total. If there were 64 total, what does that make the dolls turn into? Is 40, and then we have to subtract. And then 118, don't try to make yours exactly like mine. If you already did it, you could use bigger common denominators. You could use bigger common denominators, and then you might get a fraction that is just like unreduced. Sorry, I'm scooching too far up the... So if you use bigger denominators, both numbers will be bigger. Does that make sense? Because I want to make sure we're not copying. I want to make sure we're trying it on our own. Good to move on then, Lily. All right, so Steve shuffles up a standard deck of cards, which I somehow have become the landing point for decks of cards in Phoenix. So guys, if you ever want to play with a deck of cards, come see me. I have like a dozen over here, not exaggerating, because I try to be pretty mathy. So we shuffle up a deck of cards. Now, if you don't remember what's in a deck of cards, where could you look? Christian? Yeah, you got that cheat sheet that I gave you, which I don't know. Cheat sheet's just an easy way to say like math notes. And kids tend to like cheat sheets. So we shuffle up the deck, right? The first 3 cards we turn over are an ace, a 4 of clubs, and a jack of spades. Okay, ace, 4 of clubs, jack of spades. Yes, we are on 1.2.8, but most of what we're doing today is graph paper. So you need graph paper out. So, all right, ace of hearts. I hear a lot of papers moving, so I'm going to wait a second while people are getting out what they need to get out. All right. So, because you guys gave me a second to do it on my own, here we go. Ace of hearts, 4 of clubs, Jack of spades. Remember, it's called spades because it looks like a shovel. That's why we call it spades. So I want you to chat with your teammate about these questions. So on your graph paper, go ahead and label 123, because this is problem 123. And then go ahead and jot down like A, B, C, D as we work. He has so far, like he had the whole deck, and he has drawn out these 3 cards. So your questions you're asked to answer: how many cards are left in the deck? How many aces are left in the deck? What is the probability this next card I turn over, this next card, what is the probability that this card is an ace? Chat with your teammate. I'll give you a couple minutes to talk about this.
Out of 52. So like this is all like you could get
52. We do not use jokers.
So wait. Oh yeah. But so since out of 52 have already won, would it be like 3 out of 52? So there's 52 out of
52 total cards in a full size deck. But now what we're answering, so 52. It is on your paper too. Like it is on your paper also. It says it on there. All right, so Gabe. So sorry, using cards. This is why I use cards, because a lot of what we talk about this year is cards. Gabe, if we've already flipped over 3 cards and I don't take this card off of the deck yet, I leave it sitting here, how many cards are left in this deck? How'd you figure that out? Yeah, so 52 for the total deck, minus 3 equals 49 cards remaining. Any questions on how we got 49 cards left? So everybody's paper, your graph paper, should have 49 cards left written down. Then how many remaining aces, Raphael, what are you thinking? How many aces are left in the deck? How many aces does the deck start with? We should probably make sure that we know. So if you don't know, flip to that cheat sheet that I gave you, right? That has a whole deck of cards on it. Do you want to take a second to look? Yeah, there it is. How many aces? You got it. How many? The card with the A on it. Yeah, there are 4 when we start. But how many are left? Did I get any aces so far? I got one, right? I've already drawn one. There are 3 aces left. Total. So now, I'm not in this class. Donovan left. Margot, what is the probability that that 4th card, this guy right here, is going to be an ace? Yeah, 3 over 49. So guys, let's start writing probability a bit nicer. Put a big P. Put parentheses ace. Now this is specific for this situation because this isn't a regular ace probability. This is this ace probability. But it's 3 over 49. Yeah.
If that was the first question, then it would have been 4.
Yeah, if it's the first, if no cards had been taken from the deck, right, it would have been 4 over 52. All right, so if you're betting, right, if you turn to your friend and you both have a piece of candy, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna bet you, would you bet on the next card being an ace or the next card being not an ace?
Not an ace. I'm betting
Christian's playing the slim. Keegan, what are you thinking? Ace or no ace? Why? So 3 over 49 is a very low chance. Yeah, it's way less than half, right? If we kind of compare things to half. All right, you ready? You ready?
This is the moment of truth. You guys, you just have to read the last.
Shh. I don't know what you're talking about.
There wasn't a last question.
There's no last question. Okay, so now, what is my probability that this 5th card will be a 5? Now, Scout's Honor, I honestly don't know what this card is. I did not set this up beyond these first 4 cards. Talk with your teammate. What's the probability the next card is a 5?
It says it already is a 5. It's saying what's the probability that the 6th card will be?
I know what it's asking. I want to ask my own question. Notice how I said this is all going to be on graph paper? So here's one thing you got to learn about me. I don't really like following rules that I don't agree with. Now, this is a dangerous thing to say to 12-year-olds. Because it is more beneficial for us to answer more questions. Okay? It's better for us to practice more. So forget about them giving you an answer. What's the probability the 5th card is an ace? Ivan, what are you thinking? Or, sorry, not ace. Now you got me all screwed up. What's the probability the 5th card is a 5? A 5. What is the probability that 5th card will be a 5 when we have these so far? So, 4, because there are still 4 5s left.
48. 4 over 48. 4 out of what?
Because there are 4 5s, right? But the deck now only has 58. Sorry, 48. My brain, yeah, no, it's a tough. I got camp on my mind, and I got all sorts of things on my mind.
Yeah, I'm dreaming about it.
All right, so here's the thing. Whether that 5th card is a 5 or not a 5, will that 5th card impact the chance of us getting a king? Will that 5th card impact our chance of getting a king, miss?
Yes, it will.
Why?
Because. Wait, what happened?
It was just bouncing around.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, it will. Because if you pull another one, your probability is going to change.
So now, if we try to answer probability of king for the next card, so like the next card that we draw, what's my probability of a king now? How many kings are still in the deck? Anybody? How many cards are still in the
Wait,
deck?
no. 47.
47 now. So guys, you have to keep thinking about the changing total. Questions? All right, I'm going to throw another thing at you and then probably just give you some time. Who, what? Oh, you want to see what the next one is? What do you bet? King or no king?
No king.
No king?
I want his pencil. Guys.
Well, but he needs his pencil. All right, I probably have to say don't gamble in school, but yet I'm teaching you about gambling and probabilities.
I can't.
Alex. Yeah, I mean,
Speaking of gambling,
I just want to remind us, I have about a 10-minute long video I would like to show you that I think you would find entertaining. It's like animated, it's kind of funny. But we're not going to get to that at this rate. At the speed we're going, we're not going to get to it. We got to speed up, so we cannot take stories about gambling and whatever else. I get it. We all probably have a story, but there's no time. I'm sorry. Let's talk more at camp about these stories and things I don't have to teach you. So what we're actually doing, is it on topic? Is it not just a story about gambling?
No, but I was just gonna say maybe don't talk too much about gambling. He's recording us.
I don't think anyone watches my videos.
I do.
Yeah.
My mom does.
So now in 128, and you only have one problem on that worksheet. So let's go ahead and look at the problem on the 128 worksheet. We're now, and guys, we did this yesterday. We're now, oh, I forgot, I have a little checkpoint here, but we'll come back to that. We now want to talk about subtracting probabilities, and this one's on your worksheet. So let's go ahead and do that, because then you can put your worksheet away, and all my people sneakily trying to do their homework will maybe stop sneakily doing their homework. It's okay, but then it makes our class go slower, because you're not with me. So, work with your partners to figure out what is that question mark probability. And remind each other, if you need to remind, what do you need before you can add or subtract fractions? What is the spinner as a total?
Okay, listen. So what you have to
Remind each other. Ivan, you're spoiling it. Spoiling it.
Are you with me? Wrote anything down? You with me? Are you with me? I'm with me. You with me? Okay, and you're a little too fast. Okay, so then all the wait, hold on. We're also getting you guys there. I'm not sure it's gonna work properly. Okay, so this thing over here would become 30 out of 2. 5 figures would start down the list. 5 would start at 3. Go down 6. Here. 30. And then this one would become 5 out of 30. It's 30. And then this one, whoa. So now you have to add them all up.
If. That's my quiet.
That's scary then.
I used to actually yell when I realized that I was scaring kids. I don't want to scare kids.
Who's 30 out of 30? 30 out of 30.
If I'm not even trying to stop you working. If you need help finding common denominators, I would copy this. If you need help with common denominators, I'm listing, guys, I'm making a multiplication table. What I'm seriously doing is just making a multiplication table. Now, we could also look at a multiplication table. There's a ghost in my smartboard. Did you not just see it jump? All right, 21, 24, 27. So, what have I determined here is what? 30 is in each of my lists for my multiples of 3, 6, and 5. So now I gotta do that work, which we're gonna write on our paper so Mr. Hudson knows you know what you're doing. So 1/3, what does that need to multiply by to equal something over 30? Not just 10. 10 over 10. Well, because they said it.
See, look, I'm getting the answer right.
And I knew you knew what you meant. You just didn't say it. You know what I mean? I'm a stickler on you. Gotta say it. 10/30ths.
Yeah.
We're now doing classwork, so unless you have a question, you can just kind of work with me. For 1/6, what needs to happen to 1/6 to get a denominator of 30? Anybody? Not just 5. 5 over 5. I mean, you could also show this and that being the same. So 5/30ths, right? 5. And then 2/5. What does 5 need to multiply by to become 30?
6.
So we're going to multiply 6 over 6 and get 12. I'll just go ahead and write that in red, I guess. Finish this out. If you haven't finished it, finish it out.
So you did
all.
I did the whole thing. Bro, because you did. Bro, Okay, so in this, before he even starts, we're like, okay, so this is that energy check, so you gotta ask him.
Do you even understand the guy's energy?
I know how you got the 330. You were just going all at it like, bro. Oh, you love that. Hi.
Guys, when we're doing classwork, you can use graph paper. Even if this is on your paper, you can use graph paper for classwork. By the way, before I totally forget, so tomorrow the closure Jenga's on there. We'll still need to finish a little bit of 1, 2, 8 tomorrow because I would like to show this video today. So we'll probably start the closure Jenga tomorrow so that we've broken the teams and so that you know the game. But then we're pretty much going to finish that on Friday. The mastery is going to push until after camp. Okay, so you don't need to change anything in your plan book. Your plan book's still fine. I'll give you the closure tomorrow, but we'll still finish 1, 2, 8 tomorrow. So no worries. We'll watch the video here in 10-ish minutes or whatever. I need to check the schedule. No, everybody. What do I do with these 3 fractions next? Add them all up. So
and then
we
you
get
give it
10
this,
plus 22.
this.
27.
Yeah, and then
So what is this?
What are you doing?
Or 1/10, right? Because, hold up, I want to make sure everyone knows why we did that. The whole, hey, chill out. If you got it, great. If you didn't, I need your attention right here. The whole spinner, see, I'm distracted. The whole spinner can be represented by any number over itself, but we chose 30 as our common denominator. The sections we found took up 27 of the 30, and when we subtract, we do not subtract denominators, we keep the denominator, and we get 3/30, which could reduce to 1/10. 1, 2, 8 goes away in your binder, so if you're sneakily doing your homework, sorry, do it later. Talk with your teammates. What did Eustace do wrong? Not Estes. Eustace. Not Istis. Eustace. Talk with your neighbor. What did Eustace do wrong?
That is so wrong. How do you think of this answer? This answer does not make sense. Because first of all, you have to find a common denominator, and 6 is not one of them. Yeah, 6 is one of them. No, it's not. No. Oh, wait, now it's not. Yeah. So 6 is like added. So then,
the common denominator.
Alex, what did Eustace do wrong? I mean, or you can always pass. Destiny, what did Eustace do wrong?
He didn't find a common denominator, and
He
just added instead.
Yeah, he did not find a common denominator and instead tried to add the denominators, which does not work. For 2 and 4, I trip over my words sometimes. 2 and 4, what would be your common denominator?
8.
Ooh, or
2.
4. You could just use 4. We'll do more of this tomorrow, and I actually might put some of these questions. Hey, whoa. Because I got a video to show you guys. But